Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, it's been a while since I did a history video, and I don't like to put square pegs in round holes. I only want to do these and like to do these when I'm inspired and I think that they're very relevant. I don't do this very often because I'm always multitasking. I mean, last night, for example, I was on the treadmill working out, scrolling news for today, listening to music, and watching Kung Fu on closed caption, all at once. 2 nights ago, I decided to go down to the lower level of my house in my home theater and watch unabatedly, uninterrupted, by myself, 300. The story about King Leonidas and Thermopylae against the Persians. And, you know, I watched this and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, wow, this story, what relevance is today. Now, there was a lot of things about 300 that historically are accurate. There's a lot of things that they take some liberty with. But it's still a story. It's like a novel that's relevant to today. So the way they told the story hit me like a ton of bricks of the relevancy today. And let me go over it. First off, there's this great scene when Leonidas is talking to the messenger from Persia, wants them to surrender. And it's all about freedom. Freedom. And King Leonidas, played by Gerard Butler beautifully, looks at the kids. And he looks at the women. And he imagines them as slaves of Persia. And he proceeds to kick the messenger into the hole. Because it was about freedom. He would rather die a free man than live as a slave under Persia. Relevancy today. And then the whole thing was based upon honor, 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 honor. Freedom, freedom, freedom. And then there's this great moment where Leonidas knows their history. They're going to die. But he doesn't want them all to die. And he sends Dilios, one-eyed Dilios, back to Sparta to tell the story, because if the story's not told, nobody will know. The story's got to be told. That's a lesson for you. Story's got to be told. For example, the story that I'm going to tell on the Durrani litigation is incredible. The person who's working on the documentary called me yesterday and says, Eric, this story is unfreaking believable. Never heard of anything like it. But guess what? Unless I tell the story, it dies. And then something else that played out in 300, it was very relevant. The oracles took the Persian money and told Leonidas not to fight the war. He did it anyway. And he skirted the law. They were just going on a hike. He didn't send the army, just 300. Then the corrupt senator took the gold, the Persian coin too, didn't he? And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, China. China's influence today in this country. They're just like the oracles. They're just like the senators. People taking the money more important than the honor and freedom of Sparta. I mean, it's a great story to show, you know, history repeats itself. Then today is the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. I read a book a year or so ago about the Hancocks, the Adams, and the Quincy families. They were intertwined in Boston. And there was a town called Quincy too, named after the Quincy family. John Quincy Adams is because Abigail was a Quincy. And there was a patriot named Hosea Quincy II, that would have been one of the known founding fathers had he not died in 1775. And, you know, the Quincy family played a big as role as any of them. Hancock married a Quincy. He married a Quincy. And when I read this story, and they tell the story of the Boston Tea Party, the speech that Hosea Quincy gave in the hall, where they took off then, some of them dressed as Mohawks, to dump the 340 crates of tea into the Boston Harbor from the 3 ships. This speech is incredible. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I'm telling you, it's an incredible speech. But the thought occurred to me, you know, and we need to be reminded, this country was, oh, by the way, the Boston Tea Party, the whole purpose of the Boston Tea Party was to object to the tax on the tea. Governor Hutchinson would not let those ships leave without paying the toll, so to speak. Other places in the country would just let the ships go back. He would not. So he was holding those ships hostage. They would lead, the Boston Tea Party would lead to the repeal of the tea tax, but guess what? What came next were what's called the Townsend Acts and the Coercive Acts that were made everything worse, that ended up leading to the American Revolution. But our country was founded upon revolt against oppression from government and corporations, the East India companies, the companies, the corporations that controlled the tea. So, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, on the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party, let us all let the American rebel come out in us as we battle the new coercive acts, the new vax mandates, masks, on and on. Those fly in the face of how our country was founded, what we're all about. Leonadias in Greece, Americans, Boston Tea Party. It's all about freedom, freedom, freedom. Less government, more freedom. Sounds like it'd be a great motto for somebody who ran for governor. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Remember, Leonidas and the 300 gave up their lives to give the Greeks 3 more days to prepare for the Persians. Politicians today won't even give up their jobs. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.